Hello and welcome to episode 11 of 8-Bit Bastards, the beginning of season 2. This will be pretty much the exact same as always, except we got a few little surprises, and you'll probably notice that the intro and exit music is different. But again, we'll start off with Act 1, talking about some games, and then move into Act 2, and we got a couple little new things to throw into Act 2 tonight of our 30 minutes of miscellaneous crap. So, joining this evening is...
Brad.
And...
Justin.
Jacob.
So thank you for joining me, gentlemen. And we didn't even talk about who's starting. We've been discussing the awesomeness of wrestling, so I was confused. Who's starting?
Let's just go down the line. Let Brad go.
All right, Brad.
I've been playing on Metal Slug XX. It is free for PlayStation Plus members on the Vita.
Whatever.
I love my PlayStation Plus service. What can I say? That and I don't know. Other than Muramasa Rebirth, I hadn't touched my Vita that often. Never played a Metal Slug game. I really didn't know what to expect. I expected it to be like a really crappy Contra. And once I started playing it, it was pretty awesome. Literally can throw grenades, shoot all sorts of crazy directions, all sorts of crazy enemies. The difficulty level is through the roof. Like, I have not played a game that pissed me off that bad probably since Super Ghosts and Ghouls. It's a really good game.
What type of game is Metal Slug XX?
2D side-scroller like Contra. I say like Contra, but it almost feels like a really smooth single-player Worms almost. Like Worms Armageddon, like the aiming physics. Yeah. Like it reminds me of that. Yeah, it doesn't remind me of Contra in that sense. I've yet to get to play it 2-player. I know the games are always supposed to be really, like, way more fun 2-player. That and further on in the game, you get vehicles. There's 6 characters you can choose from. All the characters have different loadouts. Like one guy is really badass up close because if people get too close to you, you won't shoot them. You'll pull out your knife and fucking shiv them. You can lob grenades, get in tanks, helicopters, all sorts of shit towards the end. It looks. I can't wait to actually beat the game.
Have you never played Metal Slug before?
No, I never played a Metal Slug game before that.
There's a lot of them.
Oh no,
There's a few on PlayStation too.
I know they're at a really big following. It's just by the time they ever really started porting them to PS2, it already got a 360. It had got rid of my PS2, so I never actually had the opportunity. And I know they were on PSP, but I never own a handheld. It's so rare.
It's one of the few games I have for PSP is Metal Slug. Those games are fun.
They were original arcade games, weren't they?
Yeah, no, they were originally in arcade games, but it's one of those things that, we talked about that in one of the previous ones where arcades are so hard to find. But it is definitely a very, very good Vita title.
Is this a re-release? Is it Metal Slug XX a re-release? Was it a PS2 game?
PSP game.
It was a PSP game.
As far as I know, it was a PSP game. They just made it free on the network.
Is it the same one?
They've released a lot of them. That's probably Metal Slug 20.
Okay.
So yeah, there are a crap ton of Metal Slug games.
And that is one of the games that does seem like it gets much better with everyone. I mean, it's generally the same, but they always add weapons and brand new. Like, the whole game is completely new. They don't really recycle environments.
Yeah, the homing missiles and shit in it were pretty awesome. I've only got a couple of the weapons so far. I only got like 4 levels in because it's aggravatingly hard. Like, I mean, I played it for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I felt like I got nowhere in playing the game.
Like old school Nintendo hard?
Yeah, like old school Nintendo hard. And I know it's one of the SNK like cult following franchises because I know a crap ton of SNK fans that always talked about Metal Slug. So I was glad to finally get to play one.
If it's SNK, it's got to be arcade because they were huge in the arcades in the 80s and 90s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they had tons of machines and stuff. So
what does SNK stand for?
That is a great question. Somebody email us and tell us what that means.
Had Wi-Fi.
I imagine it's something about stealing Nintendo's concepts. No, I don't know. I shouldn't say.
Con starts with a C.
Well, I know, but if you want to...
That's West Virginia education. Sorry.
Yeah, but so does Combat. Immortal Combat's with a K. So let's not go with what proper spelling is with video games.
There's no reason to be an asshole about it, Brad.
Well, I don't like being referred to as a West Virginia person.
He was the one that did.
And that's why I told him.
You get very, very upset there.
Because I ain't from fucking West Virginia.
He could be.
No. Virginia, son. Virginia.
Oh, that's too funny.
The western part of Virginia.
Any other questions about Metal Slug?
Well, no, I wanted to ask him about, because, I showed you the game, which, the Contra one, it was hardcore.
Oh, okay.
Brad and I played that one. Is it like that one, or is it less Contra-like? Because that one is a Contra prequel.
No, it's way more Contra, not as fast-paced. That game was much more fast-paced.
It's a different style than Contra.
Yeah.
Like, it's totally different weapons, like you said, the melee combat and stuff.
Well, in the new one, you have melee combat. In the new, it's called hardcore and it's the sequel to Contra, or it's the prequel to Contra Hardcore.
On 360?
Yeah, on
It's
360. It's on the arcade. It's fantastic. You get like 4 characters to choose from. The main character is Bahamut, and as you level up too, and as you get levels, you get like you can slap bullets away from you. You can someone shoots you with a little laser or whatever. You can slap it and you can hit that character. He can run, double jump, dash. You can do a bunch of crazy stuff in it. And that's what I was kind of thinking. Does it have that type of stuff?
It's very still old schooly. If anything, it feels like a really, really awesome polished Super Nintendo game.
Storyline at all?
There is one there. I just really wasn't following it much. I was just more or less like absorbed in the fact of just kicking the ever-loving shit out of everything running forward and backwards at me.
So anytime text
literally
popped
enemies
up,
were coming from both directions. I just breeze through the text on most Vita games. I'm not gonna lie. I read enough comic books. I don't feel like reading the video game anymore.
Justin always puts his on subtitles.
I always have subtitles on, always. Because there's always so much shit going on in my house. I have kids, and other TVs are on, or my wife's bitching about something. It's always something, so I just read as I play.
Reading is fundamental.
Yeah, how many times you play Dead Space, you're like, what's going on? I don't know. If you turned on your subtitles, you would know.
Yeah, I definitely turn my subtitles on. There's all kinds of stuff you miss in Dead Space.
So that means
it does.
Subtitles on.
The audio is horrible in the game.
Well,
It's called
I
put
know,
the headset on and pay attention.
but I don't know. There was a couple of parts where the voices were completely garbled. You couldn't understand them, but the subtitles worked.
No,
It's because they were doing it realistic to where if it was far away, like if you were standing over there at the end of the store, your voice would be projecting and it would be a lot softer, muted tone.
Yeah, if you're not within earshot of someone talking, then it would be...
The freakouts, when the girl would show up and he would like start freaking out, there were times where she was speaking gibberish, but the subtitles were telling me what she was saying.
I don't remember, because that's from Dead Space 2, but, I mean, when we were playing, because he doesn't use subtitles, I'd have, because we played pretty much screen to screen, and he'd be like, what the fuck's going on? He'd get up and look at my screen, because he couldn't hear on his.
I hate having subtitles on. It takes away from being immersed in
How
the game.
did you ever watch a Japanese movie? How did you ever watch a Godzilla or anything?
I don't know.
I can't do that. I can't do subtitles.
Kind of like Brad. I read enough books. I read so many books. I read like 4 or 5 books this summer.
You trying to say you're better than me? Because I watch Godzilla movies to read?
Yes.
Whatever.
Don't get me wrong, though. I still read a lot of games. I don't know. I was lazy. I didn't feel like reading heavy the Metal Slug there.
And it's like Contra. There's no story.
Well,
I was like enemies, tanks, grenades, boom, doom.
Let's go back just a second, Justin. Let's talk about this. How long do you think you played it, realistically?
Probably 2 hours easily.
2 hours. In one sitting?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because Justin's been playing his Vita, and we'll talk about the game you've been playing a little bit. I have this problem as well, because I've been trying to get back to my Vita and play some things on it. I've been trying to play Uncharted a little bit, and I'll play for like 15 or 20 minutes, and I don't know, I just don't like holding it.
No,
It's cumbersome.
I don't mind that. It depends on what I'm playing, though.
It depends for me, because I hold mine weird. Like, I don't hold it like... I have like all my fingers underneath, and like I have a weird like I have finger grips on the back of mine, so my fingers just like it literally rests on my middle fingers, and then I have no weight up top. It literally is held up by my middle fingers.
I like setting it down.
I've caught myself doing that too. Like if I'm at work or something, I'll set it on the counter and I'll just kind of play like that, depending on what game I'm playing though.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. That's why I always bought Street Fighter and Darksiders and stuff that I would sit there and be able to play for 20 minutes. Make good progress because it's just one matches, but I would never like Final Fantasy 7. I don't think I would buy that on the Vita.
I got it for free.
Oh well, there you go.
That's my thing. Like a lot of the, and I was playing. What else did I play it? I played Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I have that for.
See, I would buy that because
it's
you could
fun.
play
like
that.
I play them in bed and stuff too. Like I'll lay on my back and put a pillow on my chest, and I'll just sit there and I play it fine and good size screen.
I think you guys are Nancy's. I don't have any problem holding it. I
That's
don't think
my
it has
thought.
any weight to it or anything. It's paperweight.
You have ginormous biceps, though.
Yeah, I'm so ripped over here. Let me tell you. But no,
He's so
I mean,
buttered today.
no, it's just I don't know, man. I like my Vita. I think it's actually pretty comfortable to hold system. A couple things I didn't know that I thought were pretty awesome. That like when you're playing some of the old school throwback games, like I found out from Justin when he was playing 7. And if you hold down, if you touch the actual screen, if you hold it down for a second, a sub menu will pop up, and you can actually adjust all your video settings. You can actually go in and rewrite the controls. So, like in Final Fantasy, like it only wants you to use the D-pad. It's only normally set default for the D-pad. Using the D-pad on that thing was kind of aggravating to move my character around. I switched it all to the thumbstick. I actually switched the right thumbstick to actually where it'll pan around the camera angle now, when I'm out in the world. So, I don't know. I just keep finding more reasons to fall in love with the thing.
But it has to be, because it's the same way, like when you're playing on PlayStation, because if you ever buy a PS1 game or PS2 game for PlayStation 3, you can go into the sub-menus like he's talking about, but only if the game's compatible for it. Like Final Fantasy VII is not compatible for an analog controller, so you can't put it on the sticks.
Flip side is it came out before analog controllers.
Well, that's what I'm saying, yeah. It depends on what the game's settings were in the beginning. Like playing like a Soul Reaver, like I could adjust the settings from D-pad to analog stick because the game came out during that time. But with Final Fantasy VII, I'm still using the D-pad. I catch myself because in Final Fantasy VII, if you hit R2, it'll come up with a target menu and it'll tell you what the targets are on the screen. Because it's a touchscreen, I don't realize it. Like I'll tap it and it'll start flashing. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Another question for you is it on the back or on the front for the R2s?
Back. The top corners is R2, L2. The bottom corners are R3 and L3.
I went back trying to play it or whatever because I've been playing Dragon Quest VI on my 3DS, and I really like the feel of the 3DS. Now I don't have a 3DS XL, I don't have the big one, I have the little one, but I really like it. It just fits very, very comfortable in my hands. Again, I have little hands, so I really, really like the feel of the 3DS.
Flip side, Nintendo's been doing this for a very long time. They have the handheld market.
Well, I think it was
maxed out.
I think it's weird. Like I can play if the games don't require a stylus, yes, I can play them fine. But now I have to hold it with one hand and use a stylus. Like I tried to play Phantom Hourglass. Not to say it was on a 3DS, but I played Phantom Hourglass and I could not stand it because you have to use the fucking stylus too much, and that shit annoys me. Cannot stand that. I can't do. I hated dual shit.
I hated Kid Icarus for that reason.
Kid Icarus gave you a stand. Like you weren't supposed to hold it. It was supposed to be used with a stand, and you would. Because I bought my wife it too, and she's left-handed. Couldn't play the game. There's no left-handed setting because there's no right-handed stick.
There is now, but...
Well, there is now, but during that time it wasn't.
Yeah. Thank you, Brad, for Metal Slug XX. Free for PlayStation Plus.
I think it's like $20 if you want to buy it.
Worth $20?
If you're a Metal Slug fan or if you like Contra-style games, yeah, completely, I'd say so.
I think they're pretty long.
It might actually even be $15. Knowing the PlayStation Network, I think I bought my Kickin' Bunko or whatever, which is like a street rumble-style PSP game for $15. I think the majority of them run about that price.
15, not bad. All right, Justin, tell us about Virtue, Zero Escape, Last, Rewind, X2Com.net org.
The game is called Zero Escape. Virtue Last Rewind is what it is. It is a free Vita game for PlayStation Plus. I downloaded it when I first got my Vita, and I just wanted to play an actual Vita game because all the games I've been playing are old PS1 games, which kind of look like shit because they're old PS1 games. Japanese style game, and when I say that, it is a weird puzzle game. It's kind of like Saw almost, not as like gory or anything. You start off as a character named Sigma, and you get kidnapped, and then you wake up in a room with another girl, and you look through his eyes. It's first person, and then you have to figure out puzzles to move along through the game. Like you're trapped in an elevator, and this rabbit pops up and tells you, figure out this room, or I'm going to drop the elevator. Fun game, very puzzle. It's 100% puzzle driven. And once you get out of the room, you meet up with all these other people that have been kidnapped, and you guys are trying to figure out, what's happening, what's going on. And the basis of the game is either you trust people and help them, or you pretty much fuck them over, and that's how you get certain points to do stuff.
Is this a newer game?
Yeah, it's a Vita game.
So that's a complete rip-off of Light Side, Dark Side for Jedi. KOTOR.
Is
do
it?
the good, do the bad.
Well,
or
no,
Infamous.
No, it's not.
It's any game like that, though.
It's not like that. It's not like if you do good, you get good points. It's you literally will help someone, you get good points. If you fuck someone over, you get bad points, and your points determine what happens in the game and determine what room you go into and how things happen.
It's still like you're saying, though. It's still like Knights of the Old Republic. It's like any game with a good bad outcome.
But it'd be something you have to play because it doesn't. It's not really like that. It's not really like, oh, you make this bad decision. It's like this guy's like, help me, I'm gonna die. Like, no, fuck you, you're dead. Or help him. Like it's very, very black and white.
Yeah, but as we're just trying to say is, if you play the game and every time you make the quote bad decision, you're going to go into specific rooms. If I go through and make all the good decisions, quote, then we're going to have two totally different experiences, just like if you played Infamous doing all the good missions or just all the bad missions.
Yes and no, because what it is you get bracelet points. You have this weird watch that dictates pretty much everything that everyone does. What it is you build him up by cooperating or betraying people. If his points, because I think it's what it is, you take their points. If you take their points, it reaches 0, they die. Player that you took their points, if their points reach 0. I haven't gotten that far into it, so I've kind of looked ahead to kind of get more of the game to explain it more. It's a weird game, because, like I said, it's very but very puzzle-driven, and there's an easy and hard. There's no medium setting. You're always playing hard unless you turn it on to easy.
I did download this myself for the Vita. I have not gotten around to playing it yet. It's on one of my memory cards. I want to play it because I read reviews on it. I know it took a while to port it over, so we didn't get it right away on launch. It's been out over in Japan for a while. The game supposedly, like Justin said, it's kind of like Saw, and like we were saying, I can see your thing with the good and bad outcomes. What I'm more curious about, though, is even when I get to play it myself, is I know it doesn't have really any combat because it's a solely story-driven game, so it put off the vibe and what the reviews I've read on it, like Heavy Rain, which I imagine from what you've played of it, you can probably agree with that. But I'm curious as to what happens when you start splicing all these choices. Because I'm the type of guy that, like when I played Heavy Rain, Justin played Heavy Rain, he made sure the chick got away from the crazy doctor in the doctor's house. I did not. She died. She ended it in the basement. Game over. He got her with the bone saw and it was done. My ending to Heavy Rain, Justin's ending to Heavy Rain, and majority of people I know, most people don't even know the ending that I got to Heavy Rain because I'm one of the only people in the world that seemed like, you know what, I don't like that bitch. She gonna die. And I know what happened. Like, you go to her funeral at the end of the game, and it's amazing. So I look forward to playing this game myself, and maybe in like a month or so I'll be able to give another rundown of it and give you guys a different view of what Justin does. PC? No, PS3 only. PS3 only. You have to have dual shock. You have to have motion things in the controller because it requires certain points.
I need a PS3.
Me, myself, I'm going to go back and actually try to play through it more. I only did probably like an hour or two of it. The puzzles are fun. They are kind of... Well, in the first level, it's kind of hectic because you don't know if you're going to die because he says you're going to drop the elevator. And there's really there's no handouts. It's not like, oh, look over here. It's... You'll sit and stare at something for an hour, and it won't give you a tip or anything. Because, like I said, it's either hard or easy, and I'm not going to put it on easy. I'm just playing it through the hard setting.
Is it time-based? So you're staying in the elevator? Is there literally a timer counting down?
No timer, no nothing. It's get out of here. And if you don't get out here I'm going to drop you. And that's literally what the rabbit tells you.
But if there's no time limit...
That's what made it kind of hectic. I was like, shit, there's no timer. I didn't know what was going to happen.
If there was an internal timer or something going?
I didn't know if anything like that was going to happen.
So you didn't give it a run, though, just to see what the fuck would happen?
I did. I let it sit there. I walked away. I walked away for like 30 minutes and nothing happened.
So we can just jump to these.
That's what I
was asking.
I don't know if there are timed missions later. That's kind of my thing. I did the one, saw the group of people, and kind of went away with it. I mean, it was kind of... I got stumped a little bit in the first one. What happens is you wake up in the elevator, and there's a girl, and you and the girl talk. She's like, I don't know how I got here, blah, 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 you know, that typical rundown. And then on the right, you turn around, you see the elevator doors, and on the right, there's a panel, and it has a little TV. The rabbit talks to you, tells you, blah, 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 if you don't get out, I'm going to drop the elevator. That's it. And he's like, get out.
Sounds exactly like Saw.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not like eerie or anything like that. Like, you're in, like, a clean room, like a clean elevator. It's not like it's all nasty and run down. But, and you just look, like, it's first person, so you just circle around and look around the room, and you have to figure out the puzzle to get out.
Is it so basically a point-and-click adventure game?
It is, actually, because you can use the touchscreen and actually you'll click the wall and he'll zoom into it. And
how does the controls work? That's what I was going to ask next with the touchscreen.
There's like 3 or 4 different ways. You can just use the sticks, you can use the D-pad, or you can pan around with the stick and then tap with the... Because you have a little like cursor, basically. You can touch, or you can pan with the sticks, and then touch again, or you can just hit X to go into stuff. Like I said, the first puzzle wasn't really that hard. It was kind of like, oh shit, what do I need to do? But there's like 5 steps. There was 5 steps to solving one puzzle. I pretty much had to solve 3 mini puzzles to solve the big puzzle to get out, which is pretty cool.
And you got out?
Yeah, I got out. And like I said, you get out, you're talking to the chick, and then you go into in the middle of a warehouse, and then you see all these other people, and then they start pretty much communicating within themselves.
What's your guy's name?
Sigma.
You're playing Sigma.
Yeah, you're playing the character Sigma.
And who's the chick?
I can't remember her name.
It's a Japanese game. She had to be super hot with large breasts.
Skinny, big tits, short hair.
Sounds typical.
It's not always a guarantee.
Yeah.
Sometimes a heroine has smaller boobs because they don't go too big.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Well, and then, like, you see an old asshole that's in there, a little kid.
Too big?
I know, that's a word they don't know.
Okay, sorry, Justin.
When you meet the other characters, there's another chick, a little kid there, an old grumpy asshole guy that's like, "Wow, why the fuck am I here?" Oh, you know, typical things you would see in like a Saw movie. But it's fun. I had a blast playing it. I've been caught up in Final Fantasy VII. Sorry.
You want to talk about that now or later?
We can talk about it later.
All right. Tell us about your Metal Gear Calamity.
I'm a big Metal Gear fan, as people know. I bought the HD collection when it came out, which was 2 through
2, 3, and Peace Walker.
Yeah, 2, 3, and Peace Walker. And they weren't even like the Redux. They weren't like the Twin Snake versions or like any of the redos or Substance. They were just HD versions of the game. I own Metal Gear Solid 4 from buying my PlayStation. And then I played all those. I played those 1,000 times anyway. Last month, the Legacy Edition came out. The Legacy Edition was every Metal Gear game besides, I think, one PSP one. It was Metal Gear Solid, or it was Metal Gear for NES, Metal Gear Solid 2 for NES, then Metal Gear Solid PS1, the VR missions, 2, 3, 4, and Peace Walker. And I was like, I'll probably get rid of the other ones. And I'm like, no, they're probably HD versions, so I'm not going to get rid of anything. They're not. I went to go play the original NES version, and it's on the and even when you buy the game, it says HD collection. It's not a Legacy collection. It says the HD disc. It's pretty much the exact same disc I've already bought, and I thought that was bullshit. That was my first set of bullshit for the day. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I couldn't find Metal Gear Solid for PS1. I'm like, it's not on either of the discs. So I was like, where the fuck is it? It's a download. It is a PS3 download, so it's not even an HD version. It's the port, which pissed me off. Same thing with the VR missions. It's just a download. You don't actually get an upgraded version of it, which is bullshit.
And you already have all these.
Yes. Well, no, not the PS1 ones. I pretty much spent $60 again to buy 2 games. And I was cool with it because I thought they were going to be in HD, and come to find out they're not. They're just the PS3 ones you can buy off the marketplace.
Flip side is, you still failed to mention that you got both the ones from Nintendo, which you never played. Exactly. And they couldn't make those in high def because, A, they're fucking Nintendo games.
Well, I didn't get to the part where I couldn't find the fucking games on disc.
Well, I know, I was going to let you get to that. On the flip side is, if you would have asked me, I could have told you were not going to get the first one in high def. I'm not shocked at what happened. The main reason I say this is because Resident Evil 6 did anthologies, and the Anthologies Collector's Edition was the same concept. You got 1 through 4, and they were all digital downloads. And then you got 5 and 6 physical copies. Xbox and PS3, both. The flip side to it, though, was PlayStation, I believe, got all 1 through 5. And Xbox got 5, 6, Code Veronica, 4 high def collection, because they remade Resident Evil 4 for the marketplace in high def. We all already know that one. But, so it's not that shocking. It does fucking suck, though.
Well, the thing that got me is I just expected a disc version of the Metal Gear Solid. I want them on disc. I don't want a digital download. I wanted a disc form of it. And then I was like, whatever, screw it. I got the download started, and I was like, okay, well, I'll go play the originals. I never beat them. I want to play them. Couldn't find them. There's no like pop-up that says, Metal Gear Solid or Metal Gear Solid 2. I had to go into Metal Gear Solid 3, go into the main menu, find it inside that. I had to pretty much go searching for 2 of my games.
That's how it is on the other one, isn't it? That's how I played Metal Gear. I don't know which one. But I went in Metal Gear Solid 3 and found that in the extras menu.
What is it?
The one with
the high def collection.
Yeah.
So I thought mine had just asked right at the beginning because I were like Zone of Enders. Zone of Enders, it's like, do you want ZOE 1 or ZOE 2?
That's how
I was like, left or right here.
Well, I could play Metal Gear Solid 2, 3, or Peace Walker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When it, Metal Gear Solid 3 under extras, it was the very old Metal Gear Solid. It was the top down. Yeah.
In the HD collection?
Yeah. If you own a Metal Gear Solid 3 and go into extras, you can play the old Metal Gear.
I'm going to have to go home and check that out.
Yeah,
because I spent like an hour playing it.
I love that game.
That's weird. I mean, either way.
The one Angry Video Game Nerd was playing when we were watching that one.
Yeah, you have to go. It's not even in the extras. It's just a part of the main menu.
I must have just missed that. But it's also in the Metal Gear Solid 3 menu.
I had to go in, and that's what I thought was bullshit. I could not find these games, and I pressed to look them online. I was like, where the fuck are my games? Like, oh, you gotta go here, and you gotta go here. There's your game. And I'm
Who's
like,
gonna screwy?
What the fuck is this? Hideo Kojima's gonna get a fucking throat chop if I ever see him.
Yeah, so basically this was a cash grab.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. And don't get me wrong, I love Metal Gear, so I'm not really that upset about it. It's just I thought there could have been a little bit more direction. It's fucking 2013. Come on, why you gotta hide shit?
Yeah, all they had to do was make a nice menu.
That was my point.
They had nice menus on DVDs in 2000.
Put 2 discs. Put all the digital content, all the stupid little stuff on 1 disc. Then have Metal Gear 4, because that's going to obviously be the largest one because it's included in the collection. But like that and 4 on 1 disc, and then all the other ones. Because I imagine Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and all the Nintendo ones are so minuscule in the amount of data that would take up on a Blu-ray. I mean, a Blu-ray is huge.
Yeah, that was your
storage.
Like, really,
like 20 gigs.
Yeah, like it's huge for storage. I mean,
it seems just kind of ridiculous. I remember BS that they would make you have to download games. Did they give you a code or something, or because you had the disc in, they allowed you to download?
They
for free?
gave me a code. It was inside the game that I was flipping through, and I was like, oh, there's the codes. Download this and this, and I'm like, I could have just spent $10 and bought them fucking both.
That's nonsense. They should have just been on a disc. If you're buying physical copies like that, and then you're buying a physical copy to have a code, that's wrong.
That's what drove me insane. It wasn't the fact that I bought the things again. I wasn't worried about it because I knew I was doing that, and I was just kind of like, whatever. But I thought I would have a physical copy of the Metal Gear Solid for PS1. That was my biggest thing.
Well, Steam's been doing that forever. Like when I bought Orange Box, nothing's on the Orange Box disc for PC. It's just an unlock for Steam, and you download it. The other thing is, if someone doesn't have any of these Metal Gear Solid games, is it cheaper just to buy this or go on the marketplace and buy them?
You could buy the HD collection, then go buy the other 2.
So would it be same price or cheaper?
Probably cheaper, but you wouldn't get the original.
$10.
Yeah, you wouldn't get the original 2 games, and that's pretty much what the difference would be.
So through your suffering, tell our fans, what should they buy? What should they spend their money on?
It depends on how big of fans they are. If they don't own a single Metal Gear game, yeah, definitely buy the Legacy Collection. But if you already own the HD one, be weary. You know what I mean? Don't just be like, oh, fuck it, it's another Metal Gear game. Because you're literally buying the HD game twice and then getting codes for the other 2.
Well, you're here, fans. Be wary.
Be weary.
You are now informed. Do you want to go next?
Yeah, I mean, I got Guild Wars 2.
More Guild Wars 2.
I like the game. Is that really so bad?
No, I think that's great.
I'm playing an engineer.
You're still playing your engineer.
They're white folk then?
Yeah.
Alright.
Fucking racist.
That's what I'm mainly playing. I have an engineer and a guardian that I really like. My guardian's only 12. My engineer's up to 35. And then I just made a necromancer last night because Kim started playing last night. She got it. I think neat about the necromancers, I'm using an axe. It's melee, but it's still ranged. It's like he's slashing, and there's these claws that are slashing the enemy. So you're melee, but you're ranged, kind of. Which I thought was kind of funny. And with the necromancer, after you do so much damage, you can press F1 and change your form into a ghastly form, I think is the first one. You get a whole new set of skills. And then you can transform into like a Lich, or I think like a Grim Reaper, and then he also has pets. And I think he could be a tank class because the majority of his abilities give you health back when you attack people.
I thought you said there weren't tanks or healers.
Not traditional, no.
Okay. So have you got to the point where this game, I'm not trying to bash your game, so don't take this personal. I'm not personally attacking you.
Okay.
Just we've talked about before how this is WoW, basically, and you've said some stuff that could be compelling to make it different or whatever, but it's an MMO.
Mm-hmm.
Have you got to the point where you were talking about the world stuff and things that I want to hear about that are unique and intriguing?
One thing I found that's neat that is putting us on a fast track, no, we haven't gotten into any of that, but with Guild Wars, they have put a big emphasis on guilds. You can be in multiple guilds at once. So we're part of DDLG, which is the biggest guild, I believe, in our server.
In the world.
And then we made our guild. And basically the point in that is when we're doing World vs. World, we're going to represent DDLG. That would be next to our name. We're building up reputation for the DDLG guild to buy upgrades. So like when we're questing, we represent Organized Chaos, which is our guild.
Who's we?
Me and a couple of my buddies and Kim now.
I had a question. If this is Guild Wars, how do you propose to be in separate guilds but be in the same guild? That's like being in the Army and then being in like the Air Force and Navy at the same time. Like,
it's just...
My statement to it is that doesn't make sense to me. I'm lost on it because like that's like be like I'm a Hell's Angel, but on the weekends I'm a fucking pagan. Like because it doesn't make sense. Because if it's Guild Wars, it should be you're locked into one guild.
This is the thing about Guild Wars is they've taken all the like this is how it has to be with an MMO. It's that screw it. The trading post, the auction house, I can sell stuff wherever I am. I don't have to go to the auction house. I open up the Lions trading post or whatever it's called, and I put items up on the market.
so is it out of it being better or convenience? Because
It is like, like the mail. We can send each other mail without having to go to a mailbox. There's a lot of little things that are like really nice.
What makes that? Is it like a power you have, or there's just a random mailbox?
You just have your mail, you click on it, and you take the items out of the mail.
Like the real world, you just pick up your phone and you have your email?
Yeah, more or less. But the thing about the guilds, I think, is in World versus World, you have blueprints and you have materials that you have to actually build towers and stuff in World versus World to fight off the other day. I'm talking to Rick, who's been playing this for a while, and he's like, yeah, they sent like 50 golems after us. What? I guess you have to collect materials to build bad guys to send into other servers. Because we're fighting other servers. We have to build up our defenses to protect ourselves from the servers. And each guild is responsible for collecting materials to build those towers and stuff.
That sounds fun. I mean, that sounds unique.
Yeah,
that's a nice twist. I'll give that.
Okay, well here's again. I'm gonna jump over here where it comes to not being Guild Wars. It's a World War game.
But all the guilds are banding together.
So that it's not a Guild War. It's a World War.
Guild World, Guild War.
We have PvP as well.
All right, Mushmouth.
It's just it seems like it's a game called Guild Wars. But the guilds don't go to war; they band together.
You're hung up too much on the name.
Yeah, thank you.
Just doesn't make sense.
I get what you're saying, though. But would you rather them change the name? They have a franchise already. First Guild Wars sold pretty well.
Guild Wars 2.
Yeah. The reason why you want to be in multiple guilds is, I guess, when DDLG was first starting, somebody took stuff out of the guild bank they weren't supposed to and wasted it, and they were screwed. So only like 3 people in that guild of like 500 people have access to the guild bank. So we make our own guild to build up our own reputation to build our own guild bank. Just a few of us.
So it's like a pyramid scheme. There's the main guild, and you're a part of it, and you're a subsidiary that is helping build up the main guild.
So you're like the South Side 52nd West Coast like Crips. More or less than like you're like this really really side small crappy organization version of the Crips.
More or less.
Yes.
And it's nice that just the 3 of us. When we quest, we build up reputation. That's how we buy the guild bank. That's how we buy experience banners. We buy PvP boosts, stuff like that. We build it up pretty quick. There's the 3 of us.
Well, here's another thing. Okay, let's say I'm 100% brand new to this. I want to go into it. And you say there's PvP. So let's say I'm a level 5 walking around and a fucking golem's just going to run up and smash my face. I have no part of this world to world shit.
No, you have to go into World versus World. You have to click on the thing and tell the game to teleport you to this completely different area.
Okay, well then that's kind of my thing too, is you're saying that people are sending stuff into, but you're actually not seeing it. It's in a whole nother like server type thing. Like it's in like if you PvP in, it's in the battlegrounds area that's going on. Okay.
Yeah, I believe so. I know my buddy randomly strung across World vs. World last night. I don't know how he did that, but I think you can probably walk into it.
Brad's got a question.
I feel like the guys that developed this game literally sat around and watched fucking 48 hours of consecutive gangland on Spike, and they're like, let's fucking make a game built off all these gangs pyramid poxy schemes, and sounds like everybody will like it, because that's what it just sounds like to me.
Yeah.
It's all Sons of Anarchy to me right now. That's what it sounds like.
It's an awesome show.
Season
2 is on Netflix now?
I'm done after season 2. I can't watch anymore. It got crappy. FX TV shows are garbage after season 3 up. But anyways, aside from that,
fantastic,
arguable. But aside from that, I do like the idea of them doing the world versus world stuff. Like I think that's pretty cool. It's a very interesting twist on it.
That I think Kim was realizing last night is really fun. Is like my engineer. I use a rifle because I like to be able to use all my turrets and keep myself away. I have an overpowered shot that sends me flying, and I shoot a net at them, and it slows them, it stops them.
Yeah, you told us this.
Yeah, well, now I have a net turret, so it shoots them all the time, which is awesome. I have a healing turret, I have a flamethrower turret, a rocket turret, and a rifle turret. Now I'm level 30, you unlock your elite skill. When I do that, I drop a supply crate on top of wherever I want. It'll stun them, it'll spawn a healing turret, a net turret, and a flamethrower turret, and a whole bunch of med bags.
So they seem super OP.
Yeah, well, you only use them every couple of minutes.
Makes me kind of want to play League of Legends.
Makes you want to play WoW again.
Why would that make you want to play League of Legends?
I got 27 days and I get to play Final Fantasy.
Dude, I haven't played League of Legends since I started playing this.
That's
I'm
good.
glad.
I haven't touched it.
Good.
Why?
Realm Reborn in 20 days.
I thought it was already out.
No, beta's going on right now. Hopefully Phase 4 starts up sometime this week, so I
Never
can play
got a
again.
fucking code.
You're jonesing like a crackhead over there.
I am. I haven't played it in like 2 weeks, man. Phase 3. I quit playing it during Phase 3 because they pretty much told everybody if you Phase 3 characters are deleted. Yeah. So it doesn't matter if you max this character out and do all the shit you can do.
Terrible.
They always
they're
do server
deleting it,
resets.
Yeah. But the reset is you keep your character name. You just remake your character model, all that shit, and go on. They're guaranteeing though anybody that's playing Phase 4, well, your character will carry over the actual game.
One thing I found really cool about Guild Wars
2.
the Elementalist class. I was saying, like, my rifle has all those abilities. I have a pistol that will give me 3 abilities, and then I either equip an offhand pistol or a shield that gives me 2 others. So, like I was saying about the Necromancer with the axe, he can also use a staff, he can also use 2 daggers, he can also use a war horn. It gives you all these different combinations of abilities. With the Elementalist, it's the same way, but you have 4 elements. So your 2 daggers have 5 fire abilities, 5 water abilities, 5 electric abilities, 5 earth abilities, and they all do different things. Like water is support and healing, electric is AoEs, I think, and fire is like straight DPS.
When Justin and I were playing WoW, when I was playing Star Wars, they have the calculators and stuff. Do they have those where you go on and they show you where you should put your points and what things you can use and stuff? Because it sounds super complicated.
The abilities are, but the traits are very simple. You have 5 different traits. Like, my engineer has firearms, explosives, alchemy, and 2 others. And you just put points into them. After 5, you get 1 little ability. Like, I put 5 points in alchemy. When I go down to 75% health, I drink a health potion automatically. When I put it into 10, I get to pick a major trait. So, like, my firearms, my major trait was I doubled my range on all my weapons. So that stuff's pretty simple. That's pretty straightforward. You get a boost in precision and power, and then a major trait. And then your skills you unlock, you have 3 utility skills, and the first tier costs 1 skill point apiece, the second tier costs 3, the elite skills cost 10. And you get those year 1 from leveling up, and then there's skill challenges throughout the world. They, like, you kill a boss.
You talk about the dailies and stuff.
Yeah. Well, not the dailies, they don't give you skill points, but you kill a boss, you do something, you gather something, and it gives you a skill point to put towards those utility
That's kind of
skills.
unique. I like that.
Yeah. It is more or less WoW, but every MMO is. But these guys are really trying to do something different.
I'm gonna jump back to Brad's thing. So in the 4th part of the beta, you make a level 19 character, let's say. You start the game with a level 19 character? Is that what you're saying?
No. When the
Just
4th
the
part of the
name?
beta, your name's the only thing that's carried over. You
Okay.
remake your character's class, race, everything.
Okay, that was my thing, because you're like, oh yeah, the character carries
No,
over.
everything
I'm
wipes.
like, are you fucking
Everything
kidding
wipes.
me? Because that'd be the most broken shit ever.
No, I don't even, and honestly, I don't even know if they're gonna actually let you carry like character level over into actual game from Phase 4 to actual game.
Probably not.
I don't imagine so. I imagine they might let you keep your character name again and your race, but I doubt they'll let you carry your
Odds
actual level
are
over.
this beta is on a completely separate server from what they're actually going to use.
They always
I doubt
are.
it.
Yeah.
I don't know if Final Fantasy.
It's
on
like
that.
Well,
Everybody-
Final Fantasy, no, but WoW did with the MOP beta. The MOP beta was on a whole other set of
But
servers.
you have to understand, literally Final Fantasy is just, they've turned on all the servers from 14. The original 6 servers beta started on were all legacy servers. They were all servers that existed for 14 originally, that they were the first ones they revamped the game for. I know, I look forward to it. I'm not too big of an MMO nut, but I can't wait to play it. I'm sure I'll burn out 2 months into it.
Guild Wars right now is on sale for $40. If you want to try a good MMO,
Don't do PC, man.
oh, that's right.
You don't
My
have a
assistant
computer.
manager, though, but no, I mean, I can tell you this. My assistant manager, Dave, he is a really, really hard-up guy on MMOs. Like, he will beat an MMO to the ground if it is not good. Like, he will pick it apart. And there's only been 2 MMOs since I've worked with the guy for the last 4 years that I've ever seen him divert from World of Warcraft from, and that was Rift for a while. And he said it was because it felt new. He liked it. He liked the world event things, which now you're seeing all sorts of MMOs jumping on that world event thing because it's awesome. Rome Reborn does it. Guild Wars does it. I know.
Defiance.
Defiance. I mean, it's an awesome aspect. And the other one, it's Guild Wars 2 right now. He can't stop playing it when he's not playing PlayStation Plus, Last of Us. Or he's not playing Last of Us in Battlefield 4. He's on that Guild Wars 2.
Right. The other cool thing about Guild Wars that we were talking about earlier, me and Justin, was every 2 weeks we get new content.
So that's pretty awesome.
Whether it be major or not. Like right now, the content they came out with was there's this big dispute between these 2 vendors because the event before that was this big market that opened up from these people, I guess, that came from like another nation, and these 2 people are like, we want to set up a trade agreement with you guys to get your goods. They said, okay, we want to know who the people like more. So each server is voting for who we want to represent them, and we're going to get bonuses from whoever wins. And that's going to affect the next set of DLC that comes out. And that's just what I know from before was the...
Well, the events are always nice in MMOs.
And the area is amazing. It's like just this crazy market they built into this mountain, and it's like just going all the way up, and it looks terrifying as you look down, and there's just fog, and you have to do all these little jumping puzzles to get up to the very top, and there's all kinds of weird vendors, and there's weird bosses that pop up randomly, and it's pretty neat. It's fun to go up there just to kill time.
Time.
That's what MMOs are. They kill time.
Time sucks. They suck your life and time.
They do.
All of it.
So I'm gonna go last here. A few weeks ago, we got in Tron finally. Tron Evolution on the Xbox 360. It sells for $11.99, very cheap. I've been playing my PS3 and Vita a lot, and I put it in, and there was immediately an update because there's an online component, and the update took 45 seconds, and that's one thing I love about Xbox Live. The updates are so fast, and I have okay internet, but that was one thing that I was like, oh man, I love having fast internet on the Xbox. It's Tron. It looks very exactly like Tron video game would. What are you doing?
I'm listening.
You still got a head cold?
No.
Okay, because you look like you're stoned or something. You look out of it.
I'm here. I promise.
You don't look riveted.
That's my in face.
Should I do an accent?
Whatever.
Do you want me to do it in an accent? That'd be funnier.
No.
Do you want me to?
No, I'm here, man.
Am I a clown? Am I here to entertain you?
Yeah,
You are a clown.
Listeners can't see him. Just talking about Tron.
That's what I'm trying to describe his face. Look at his face. It's hard to describe.
It's like that face before vinegar strokes.
Yes.
That's not a vinegar stroke, Hayes. That's not my vinegar strokes anyway.
It's hard to focus. Look at his face. You need to put a picture of on the website of his face.
Go away. Go away. That's my.
Oiv.
When I play video games, that's the face. That's where I'm at.
I've never looked over and seen you have that face.
Brad can attest that
We all get the blinks there.
I won't blink for like 30 minits. It's fucking ridiculous. My eyes get all red.
Every time I watch the trailer for At World's End, and they're like, let's just finish our drinks, and the guy walking in the bathroom like...
That's the name of the episode, The Face.
Oh, whatever. I can do the face.
The Face. So Tron, normal scene, great cutscene. You can change it, different settings, normal, hard, easy, or whatever. It does a pretty good job, the intro, explaining the game of what's going on, talks about Tron, talks about the ISOs, shows Flynn. Basically, you see him sitting there talking to the grid, and he's explaining what's going on and stuff.
That's what he was doing.
What are you doing?
Just messing with you.
Okay, I was looking down. So you play as a new program to bring peace to the grid.
You can cut it. I don't care. The whole time. The whole speech.
He's just infatuated. Yeah.
Not a lot of this.
Just gonna cut it all.
No, I don't give a shit.
Just gonna cut it all. Should I just not go?
No, go ahead. I'm kidding. Go ahead.
They're just fucking with you.
Just do the face.
I can't have the smiles.
It's hard not to smile. So you play a new security program to bring peace to the grid. I felt like this game played a lot like Prince of Persia. Wall jumping, running, stuff like that.
I felt like you were reading something as you were explaining that. Can you do that again?
I was reading.
I'm kidding.
I'm reading. But the controls are not as solid. It feels slippery, is what I wrote down.
Like a wet Prince of Persia?
Yes.
All right.
Princess
of Persia.
The checkpoints are okay, but it just seems like in the beginning, your guy is so weak, you just have to die and keep playing and die and keep playing and die and keep playing. And every time you die, the screen pops up, rebooting, uploading new program, and it takes 10 or 15 seconds every single time you die, and you will die in an area of 15 or 20 times, so it's really, really annoying. That sucks. Combat's pretty fluid. X throws the discs, B is your melee, and then you get other attacks. A does like a jump kind of attack thing. There are different types of bad guys throughout the game. The super badass guy, villain guy, is a yellow. He's yellow in color because, like, there's the red ones and then there's blue and yada yada yada. Huh?
Clue?
Clue was yellow.
Clue is yellow. Yellow? No. Yeah, he's orange. But
yeah, he is.
What is it, Clue?
No, it's not Clue. He's a virus and he's spreading his disease. Not like that. I see your smile. And his name is Avarax, I think, or something like that. I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong. You fight him, and then he runs off like a wuss, and then Clue gets shot down by Flynn. They have their little tiff, their little fight. He's like, I'm taking over. So then Clue kind of loses it, and that's when he starts going rogue and trying to take over everything and killing the ISOs and stuff. The leveling system is called a new version. You become a new version, so that's kind of cool. I mean, they have all these little Tron computerized twist, a lingo and stuff to it, and I like that lingo and everything. The money is called megabytes, so MB is your money, which is kind of neat. They have these things called ETCs, which are places on the wall to increase your health. So there'll be these little electronic, like magnet things along the wall, and if you run up along it, it'll give you your health back. Or there'll be one on a pillar in the middle of the level, and you just run up and get your health back, and then it takes a long time for that to recharge. If you want to get not your power, but your, I don't know what to call it, I guess your magic meter, I don't know what to call it, but whatever, you have little energy spikes throughout the levels and stuff. You can jump on and read that. There's a lot of different different enemies throughout the levels. There's grunts, there's guys that have like the shields, there's the counterattack guys, there are the grapple guys, there's disc guys, so there's a pretty good variety. There are mini bosses and things. I thought it was pretty good. I felt that the game is pretty solid overall. The bike area, the light cycle part, is horrible. The controls are so god-awful. It says to hold the right trigger to speed up, and it does absolutely nothing. You do not go any faster whatsoever that I felt like. Maybe it's just because the graphics aren't all that great. I mean, it is Tron graphics, so it's that 70s style.
No excuse. That's the part that should not be... That's where the ball should not be dropped, is the Tron cycles. Because, come on, that's what we all remember. As kids, the part we remember the most from Tron is the fucking Tron cycle parts.
Now, the light cycle, I am playing single player. There is multiplayer of the game. Mm-hmm. I told Justin this. I went online. There was not one person in the entire world.
I know the game tanked pretty bad, so I'm not too shocked.
There was nobody to play because I wanted to go on to get an achievement. If you played one game, you got an achievement, and I couldn't find anybody to play a game with.
You could buy the collector's edition with the light cycle replica bike for $20.
Yeah, I almost bought it at the store.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I just want it for the bike, though.
Same here, man. One of those instances, like I was talking about, customer comes first. I was going to buy it one day, and guy came in and actually wanted it. All right.
So there's not one there?
No. So I don't express emotion when I want something anymore in my store. I just act like I don't even fucking see that.
Yeah, because I wanted to go buy it and it was gone.
You're being chased on the light cycle to get out of the city, and I said you have to accelerate by hitting RT, but it doesn't seem to do any change whatsoever. There are arrows like in F-Zero. Remember the arrows you would hit?
It could make you go faster?
Yeah, and it looked like those were on there. I was running over them trying to go back and forth, but it didn't seem to help. But every time I would swerve from one side of the lane or the street I was on, I lost control, so I basically just stayed in one lane the whole time unless something was in my way, and then I would swerve out of the way. So if I happened to hit one of the little arrow things to speed me up, maybe it did something. Actually, it looks more like Excite Bike. Remember Excite Bike, the little arrows? Yeah, it kind of looked like that. But it was just horrible. And then at that point in time, it took me like 9 tries to get through the light bike cycle area. There's no checkpoint, by the way. You have to do the whole thing in one stint. It's not like there's halfway point through the light bike cycle area thingy. So I got through it after like 9 tries, and I don't know, maybe I'm just getting horrible with video games as I get older, but it was not fun. It was not good. $12, very generic game, Prince of Persia-esque. I don't know. I mean, you could definitely play something worse, but
But if you're a big Tron fan, I'm a pretty big Tron fan.
If you're a big Tron fan, I think you'll really like it because the voice actors are there. It looks the replica of everybody. You know, the graphics are pretty good on the facial stuff. You don't play as Tron. I haven't fought with Tron. I don't see Tron. You know, you see him. He says a few things. He does a couple badass moves, and then he's out. And supposedly he's dead. Then you kind of move on, and you're trying to get away. You see most of the major characters. You see the major, what I want to call them, set pieces of the grid and stuff. So the upgrade system is pretty crazy how many upgrades there are. You can upgrade your light cycle abilities. You can upgrade your tank abilities because you can get to fly the tanks eventually. I didn't get to that part, but eventually you do get to fly the tanks, which would be kind of neat. So then there's tons and tons of upgrades, upgrading your disc, the bomb discs. Oh, there's one last thing I want to talk about, and I'll let you say something. You do have like a grapple hook thing, which is kind of cool. You'll get certain parts where there'll be a little thing floating up there, and you'll jump and grapple up, and then you'll run along a wall, and you'll do a wall push, and then you'll sprint, and you'll almost do like a mirror's edge slide over a guard railing, and then you'll throw yourself up, and there'll be another hook shot thing like Link, and you'll shoot yourself up, and that's kind of cool.
This is taking place in between the movies then?
That's one thing I was really confused about, and I was talking with Justin about this, because I was explaining it to him, and hopefully he was going to clarify for me. I don't know. I was having a really hard time of pinpointing when this is taking place.
Well, if Tron and Clue are fighting, then it would happen.
But they're friendly in the beginning of the game, and then it goes to the shitstorm.
In the movie, it explains that one of the time Flynn goes back, and it's when he
That's right.
Clue goes rogue basically and supposedly kills Tron. He doesn't kill Tron, he changes him because Clue has the power of the same like Jeff Bridges did Flynn. And then Flynn leaves and goes off into wherever. In the movie, Clue sends the fake message to his friend to get the pager so his son goes into the Tron world. That's that whole thing. That is what happened. If you've seen Clue and Flynn split apart, then it is between the first and second movie. Just like Tron Uprising, the Disney cartoon, which is fucking awesome, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, I've watched them all. A lot of good voice actors, too. Elijah Wood's the main character. Bruce Boxleitner, which is the original Tron, does the original voice. What's his name?
So
Paul Rubin is in it. He plays, which is Pee Wee Herman. He's one of the main bad guys in it. It's a great game.
I think
or a show. I mean,
Tron became Rensler, the Clue's main bodyguard.
He was. He talks about it.
Oh, okay. Not in the movie though.
No, but
they kind of hint at it.
They hint at it, and then what happens is at the end of the movie in Tron Legacy, Clue shoots him out of the air, or he gets shot out of the air, and he falls down, and he says, "I fight for the user," and starts to turn blue again when he hits the water. So it was Tron the whole time, and Tron's not dead.
I hope there's a sequel to that.
So your show, good, game, not good.
Well, and
we should clarify that.
Yeah, the show is basically the same thing. It's weird because it seems like the show and the game are the same exact thing because it's actually the game's a Disney game too.
Yep, it's by Disney.
It's just an offshoot because in Tron Uprising, same thing happens. The whole thing, Clue comes out, and Jeff Bridges is supposedly gone, and Tron's supposedly dead. But in the show, Tron isn't dead. He snuck off. He's actually in hiding. And the main character, Beck, which is voiced by Elijah Wood, becomes the new Tron. Tron splits his disc into two and hands it over to Beck. And then when his disc meets his disc, he actually takes on Tron's persona. He turns white and blue. Because all the characters are black, like they are in the movie, but Tron turns white, and he has a big T in his chest and stuff. It's pretty good. It's an awesome show. There's like 20 episodes.
I didn't want to watch it because I love Tron.
No, it's anime, right? Or
it's CG.
CG.
Yeah. It's awesome, though. And it's actually in a different part of the grid, too. It's not the same city. It's in an alternate city from where... Because Clue's doing his thing in the main city, which is in the movies, and then there's the city next to it. And like I said, Paul Rubin's in it. He's one of the main generals, which is a bad guy. And it's cool, too, because it's not just blue, red, and orange. Like, you see people that have purple, you see green colors, you see all these other arrays of things.
Where would they watch this?
You can watch it. All of them are on Netflix, too.
Really?
That's where I watched them. I watched them all on Netflix. But it was a Disney XD thing, and they're in a weird spot because whoever watched it loved it, but it didn't get a lot of reception, so they might cancel it. It's still up in the air if it's going to get canceled, but it's fucking awesome. It's a great show. I couldn't stop watching it.
Is it new?
Yeah, it's probably like a year or two old.
Okay.
Maybe.
Well, at least we got some good out of that. We segue into the nice TV show of Tron from the horrible, horrible game. We're approaching an hour, I guess, so I'll talk about my other game next time.
Well, have you said anything about a new Tron movie?
Tron 3? It's rumored.
It's rumored. They said they could leave it how it was. Or, yeah, there was... the way that the end of it could have been left out was, which is, I don't know how they would do another movie besides Tron coming back to life. Because Jeff Bridges' character's dead, Clue's dead, and his son got out.
Why would he want to go back?
And he got the girl.
You're right.
She's actually in the... there's an episode with her as the ISO. You see her escaping.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and take a break here, and we'll be back for a few new surprises in Act 2. Hello, and welcome back to Act 2, 30 minutes of miscellaneous crap today. So we're going to start off talking about the failure that is the Ouya. I read online that 70% of people that own it have not even bought one game yet.
You read a review much different than mine, sir. Reviews I read were talking about from companies that have made games for it that have already making $10,000 to $20,000. There's 4 or 5 developers that have claimed through microtransactions alone for their games on the Ouya, they've made $10,000. And that's a month after launch. And that was 3 or 4 different IGN articles that I read.
Yeah.
So I have to say, in my own personal opinion, I think the Ouya is a great idea. I really want one. I'm disappointed I've yet to get one in my store so I could buy it. It's $100. It's a direct download system only. Flip side to it is there's so many great games that I've always liked. Like there's lots of interesting titles on my phone that I'd like to play. Like Xeonia. Crap, I'm drawing a blank on that one that I used to play all the time, the one tower defense game. But it was so crappy to always have to pan my phone screen around and wide it out or shrink it. The fact that you can download these games right onto the Ouya and play them on your 42-inch television at home with a controller, it's pretty damn awesome.
Now, what's the storage capacity on this thing?
It's micro US. It's, as far as I know,
only
USB
is-
flash drives or SD cards. It's upgradable.
Oh,
it's not
okay.
a locked-in, a mandatory this minimum. It's upgradable hard drive
That's
space.
good. Is there any, built in?
I think it comes with 8 gigs. I think it comes with like an 8 gig
That's
flash
pretty-
drive, which
pretty good.
isn't bad from if you think about most like Android marketplace games.
Yeah.
It's not. It's good sized space.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I've read nothing but good reviews on them. I've been reading about the fact that Amazon and places like that can't keep the damn systems available for sale.
See, all I've heard is bad reviews on it, how it's slow, the downloads are terrible, the games have been glitchy, that the controller is trying to be a rip-off of the 360, but it just doesn't cut it. I've heard nothing but negative things about it, that it's flopping
It
bad.
sounds like it's a Roku box with a controller.
Well, more or less what it is. I mean, don't get me wrong. This isn't the system to go and you replace your 360 with. Any dingleberry who thought they were going to buy an Ouya to replace, I'm going to go buy a $100 Droid system to replace my $300 Xbox or PS3 is an idiot. Like, that person should drown themselves in piss water. Because that's a horrible, horrible assumption.
Well, then-
this is sheer novelty. This is like...
Let me jump in here. Not to say what you're saying is wrong, but a lot of people say phone gaming is like the next wave of gamers. Like people play on their phone.
Casual gamers.
Yeah, casual gamers.
And it is. And that's what the Ouya is for. The Ouya was not for your hardcore gamers. Like, this is a system, like I said, myself, I want to buy just for the novelty facts of the handful. There might only be 10 whole games I might want to play on the damn system in the next 2 years. But for $100 to have it just sit at my house, play it whenever I want, play like old school Final Fantasy 3 instead of having to play it on my DS. And it's the DS version, so it's the nice, pretty graphic version. And I'm not talking about Final Fantasy 6, I'm talking about the actual Final Fantasy 3. They have that version. Square launched 4 games on the system, day one. They were games you had to buy, and there were light versions of them, because it mandatory is light version of every game, supposedly.
Here's my question is, and I've seen it with my PS1 stuff. PS1 shit doesn't look good on a 50-inch TV. So something that's made for a 4-inch screen, is that going to look good on my 50-inch TV?
It's still agreeable.
Fuck that if not.
It's still agreeable. I mean, I can't say because I haven't, like I said, I didn't get one yet. I did want to buy one if I didn't move around July when they came out. I would have bought one. If I was still living with my roommates, yes, I would have pre-ordered it, and I'd be able to tell you how, if I liked it or if I thought I should smash it with a fucking hammer. I don't know. All the stuff I've read, like I said, on IGN is like from producer end wise, like people that are making games for it, they love it.
This is a very niche market console, I think.
Oh yeah.
But can you do Netflix and all that kind of stuff on
I
it?
do not believe so. I think it is solely Droid Marketplace gaming.
See, this guy in news from 9 hours ago say 73% of Ouya owners have not paid for any games whatsoever.
That can't really be possible, though.
Well, the flip side to it is you might not have to pay for the games.
Yeah.
You might get the games for free, but if you want all the gear like they do with like Farmville, you don't pay for Farmville. But if you want to do all that stupid shit like that fat dude, the dude who throws the temper tantrum with his $300 Farmville thing.
It was Candy Crush.
Yeah, or Candy Crush or whatever. Those games are free. What they get you in is microtransactions.
So
and that's where money is to be made.
That might be a bullshit statistic.
Well, it might be the same thing. Like, there are 30% of people that do buy it, but that 30% might be Mafia War people that sit and fucking constantly blow money on
I'll tell you
Mafia
this, man.
Wars.
I got old ladies that come in my store that drop $100 every week to 2 weeks on Farmville and Zynga cards still. So if you're not buying the game, you're just doing microtransactions. I mean, the companies themselves are still making money.
Ouya is a promising idea, but the current iteration is marred by design missteps and lack of compelling content. IGN gave it a 6. They say that it is promising, it's inexpensive, it's an open platform, and could be good in the future, but right now it doesn't have very many games, doesn't have very many apps, it's very inconsistent in its performance, and the controller has major lag issues.
My problem with that is how long has it been out?
Not even a month and a half, and that's my thing.
That's a terrible review.
And that's what I was just about to say myself, is like, A, why shoot it in the foot already? I mean, Nintendo, when they initially came out, wasn't the greatest system ever. Sony, all of them.
Comparison would be Steam. Didn't have crap on it when it came out. Steam didn't have nothing. It had Valve games and that's it. No one cared about Steam.
But
now look what's the biggest thing.
That's apples to oranges. You can't do that.
Not
like
really.
If the Xbox One comes out and it does all that shit, people are going to rip it up in the first week. People are going to be like, "Oh, give it a month." You gotta kind of do that.
Well, the
same
360
thing.
came out and pretty much did that though. When it first came out, it crapped all over itself, and no one was still like, "Oh, it's complete trash." Don't get me wrong. I don't get me wrong. Not like I said from the beginning. The Ouya is not to replace your now-gen console. It is not to do that. It is sheer novelty. It is for that just complete casual gamer who doesn't want to drop $300 on a console. They want to drop $100, maybe $150, and still get to play some nice stuff.
It's like that big machine over there that I bought. It's a novelty.
Yeah, it's a novelty, and that originally, like I said, I wanted one not because I thought it was going to replace my Xbox and my PS3, but because Xeonia. I'd like to be able to play like a couple of the zombie games that we play on the iPhone and stuff like that are on there, I know. And they're talking about adding more stuff. Pretty much they claimed for the Ouya originally that any games that were really made for the Droid Marketplace were going to be ported over for the system. I mean, there's crap tons of games on it. The Droid Marketplace is thriving.
Oh, so, yeah. That's the second biggest place in gaming right now is, handheld gaming on the phones.
Exactly.
The Apple Marketplace and the Droid Marketplace are huge. Billions. I mean, look at Farmville, or not Farmville, Angry Birds.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Is this going to be our next Wii? The cheap console that all the casual people buy?
I don't know.
Is this killing the Wii U?
I don't know. I don't see that. No, because it won't kill the Wii U. The Wii U will come back and kill everybody in the end. But
because the Wii U is so magical.
It is.
Let's not,
no one wants to play with Wii U.
Sure, it's got wonderful 101.
No, stop. Let's not get Brad going on this.
Yeah, but no, I don't know, man. I don't see it like being the casual system. The main thing that I'm upset with the Ouya is the fact that, because I'll tell you this, I've had at least, I can count 70 people come to my store wanting to buy this system. And I've yet to be able to sell one to them because they never sent us any. Like, it's really hard to help promote your item when you're not giving me them to sell to people. Because I have people come into my store, at least 2 people a week, since the launch of this thing going, "Do you guys get the Ouyas in yet?" I'm still sitting here waiting like you are, man.
Why didn't you get any?
We didn't get any pre-orders on that. That tell you how this stuff works is if it's in demand. If someone wants it, then they will do it to ship it. The fact that it was a Kickstarter program type thing originally probably is one of the other reasons that we didn't get them. It wasn't something that was being mass-produced like Sony or Microsoft doing their systems where they ship out one item at least to every store.
Here's my thing is, like, as an Apple owner, like, the Ouya is only Droid-based stuff. So if I have to buy Xeonia again for another $5-6, if I want to play it on a big screen.
Yep,
but if you're a Droid user, you have to buy it twice too.
Maybe. No, I'm pretty sure it probably connects to your Droid account. I would imagine.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Droid, awesome. Droid. So let's move on to our new segment for Season 2. We're going to do what is called the What If segment. And we decided to keep it video game for our very first try. We're going to go, what if you had to be transported into a video game world? Brad, you're spitballing. Where are you going?
Where am I going?
What are you packing? Can you take anybody with you, or is it just you?
Just you.
It's like Captain N. You got sucked into a video game.
Just you.
You get a choice.
You just get to pick. That's it.
Wow.
let me get this right. Going into this world, you would get to be able to do the same stuff as the people in this world.
Are you the superhero?
Right.
Or are you just like a dude in a shop?
Well, that's what I just asked. That's the thing. Is if you go into their world, you get the same stuff that they can do. So if they can fly, you can fly. If they can cast fire, you can cast fire. They're good with the sword, you can become good with the sword.
Some of the characters can, some of them can't.
And that's my thing.
Hold on.
If I go into Street Fighter, if I picked, do I get to be Blanca or do I get to be Awesome Guile?
This is what I'm going to say. This is how I justify it. Is like I said, in the Cap, he got sucked into a video game world as a whole. He saw Mega Man, Mario, all that stuff. He had powers from the zapper that he had in his hand when he got sucked in, and his belt buckle. So I would like to say that you're not going to be Superman because you're...
Yeah, that's my belt buckle,
But, like, I guess, because it's hard, because if you got sucked into the Final Fantasy world, then you're in the Final Fantasy world. You're not Sephiroth. You're not going in as Sephiroth.
I don't want to be Sephiroth.
You see my point, though? Like, if you got sucked into, the Street Fighter world, you're not Ryu. You're not Ken. But you could potentially have those powers, yes.
That's what I'm saying.
You're the white guy from the beginning of the game.
That knocks out the black dude, the racism, yes. But you have to think, in that world, Ryu trained as hard as he did to learn how to do a Hadouken. So you might have to train to do a Hadouken, I'm sorry.
But I would be able to.
You'd be able to, yes.
I would probably go into a Final Fantasy world, preferably 6, because it's my favorite one. Mainly because I would love to be able to cast magic, kill dragons, behemoths, all that crazy shit. Ride some Magitech armor, pretty awesome. I would rain pain down on everyone. I would make Kefka look like a nice guy, though. Oh my god, Kefka would look like the nicest dude ever. I'd be the villain. God damn.
You'd be the villain. You're gonna have to come to me last. I'm still thinking.
I would so be
Jacob,
the villain.
where are you going? WWE SmackDown 2010.
I was kind of thinking that.
Jesus Christ. No.
Go to the wrestling world.
What? You could walk outside
And work out. That's the thing.
Fire Pro Wrestling.
You couldn't go into a wrestling world because the real world is the wrestling world.
Yeah. It has to be like imaginary.
That's what I was just saying. I was thinking that. I wasn't going to say it. I was going to make a joke out of it, but never mind. You guys made a joke out of it anyways.
Yeah, we did.
Yep. I think I got mine.
I'm thinking Pokemon.
There's so many... I get Pokemon, don't get me wrong, I get it. But there's a lot of stuff the other way. Could you imagine me walking out and a fucking dragon comes down and eats you? What Pokemon gonna get out in time? The fucking Charizard's not gonna fuck you up.
You hear the big bastard coming. It's not like he's flying around like
Swift?
a mosquito. Like,
what if he's using Swift? What if he's using Swift? He's hauling ass.
I'm just saying, Swift doesn't make you haul ass. Learn your Pokemon moves before you jump to the conclusion. Swift shoots stars at people, okay?
No.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
No.
Thank you.
does.
Yes, it does. Play more Pokemon.
You play more
Charizard
Pokemon.
doesn't use Swift either.
He could.
No, he can't.
Don't read it, your children.
I don't think
Play
he
more
could.
Pokemon.
TM. Pretty sure
Was
he
it?
can.
Was it
Pretty sure
TM?
he can.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was a TM. So, yeah.
The first time you get it was from a Mew.
Yeah, play more Pokemon.
Whatever.
But fucking the cat. It was the cat.
Yeah, meow?
Meowth. You get Swift from a Meowth. In blue. No, in blue you did.
See, I don't know. I'm not thinking it was a TM. I think it's a move. I think
See,
you guys are wrong.
and I get what you're saying, but like, pick up a Pokeball and it's a Voltorb, and boom, you're dead.
Yeah.
You are dead.
I grasp that, but I'm with you. I'm the Pokemon world would be the shit. Why? Because I think it'd be a badass Pokemon trainer.
If it's more like the cartoon and it's all like,
Oh no, we can.
You're already
I
in-
want it to be as realistic.
You're
as
in Final
possible.
Fantasy VI.
Yep. No Pokemon
I
Street.
don't care. I don't care.
I would be torn between Pokemon and Star Wars. It would like if I could go to Star Wars and be like already.
You can't use the Star Wars. Yeah, I say universe. You pick a game because you have to pick a time frame. So pick a game.
The Old Republic, the MMO, definitely.
Exactly. It's the Star Wars universe there.
But I'm saying you got to pick a game because
Yeah.
you got to pick
I
a
get what you're
game.
saying.
Because you can't be like, oh, well, I just want to be in the Star Wars universe. What fucking timeline, dickhead? Pick one.
The Old Republic, and I'd like to be able to walk into a room and like put on a Sith robe or put on bounty hunter armor and
Yeah,
search
because
over it.
depending on the time, the Mandalorians weren't what they were yet. The Sith weren't what they were. A lot of the powers weren't the same.
So where are you going, Justin?
I'm still up in the air. I dig the Pokemon world, but like I said, there's a lot of piss off your Charizard. A dragon will fuck you up. You're not going to be able to. There's a lot of bad parts about it. I feel.
It listens to you. That's the thing that you're failing to realize.
Hold on, did Charizard listen to Ash?
No.
No,
Because he didn't have enough badges, motherfucker.
no.
Didn't
He
have enough
he
badges.
never listened to him. He never listened to
He
him.
does towards the end.
No,
Okay, so you're not going into Pokemon.
not
Where are you
Pokemon
going?
World. I think because of the poster on the wall, I was thinking Naruto. Man, ninja shit's badass. Naruto would be fucking awesome. The only downside, there's no technology, and I'm a technology guy. But if I got sucked into a game that was like happy to be playing, Naruto would probably be one of my bigger picks.
I have to change mine. Full Metal Alchemist.
Name a Full Metal Alchemist game.
There's a couple.
There's 2 on PS2. I think one of them's called like The Search for the Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah, probably something like that.
Yeah, I think that would be an incredible universe.
There's some though, like I just feel like Assassin's Creed universe. Like I think I'd want to be in that.
No.
Like world, I feel like I'd get fucked up quick.
See a guy in a hood, you just walk back.
Exactly. You lose sight of someone as he just stands in a
You guys
crowd.
are just far too scared of Pokemon. The Pokemon universe would be the shit. Man. I would rape.
You think that you're just going to be like, oh, all these Pokemon will listen to me. No, they're going to fuck you up. There's going to be
They're
wild
not gonna fuck
Pokemon
me
everywhere.
up, dude, because I'm gonna have badass Pokemon. They're gonna fuck up wild Pokemon.
So why don't you go fight dogs? Why don't you carry a dog around with you?
Because
Why don't
it's
you
much
hold
fucking
on.
different, Justin.
Hold on.
And if it was okay, I probably would.
You wouldn't. You don't like animals. You don't even like animals.
More the reason why I would fight the motherfuckers.
No. All right. First Pokemon and why?
Huh?
First Pokemon and why?
First Pokemon and why? My first one that I would like.
Yes.
That would be given to me. Like if I could have one given to me.
Yes.
Whew.
First Pokemon and why?
Nidoran.
I would have to, I'm almost with him on that because Nidoran turns into Nidoking, and Nidoking was one of my favorite fucking Final Form Pokemon. But no, my fucking main one would probably be, as cheesy as it sounds, an Eevee, because then I would get to sit there and scratch my head for 77 years about what am I going to evolve my Eevee into next.
Well, would you let it just happen, or would you use a stone?
Well, no, you have to use a stone. Eevees don't evolve on their own.
I thought they just randomly evolved.
No. But no, on that note, Pokemon that I could start with would be a Squirtle. I've always loved Squirtle, mainly because he turns into Blastoise, and Blastoise was a fucking big turtle with fucking tank cannons coming out of his back.
Which doesn't make any sense.
Cannot go wrong with that. Fireman hose will push somebody across the floor, so I assume that big turtle will fuck some stuff up.
Well, I'll go last. If I was stuck in a video game world, I would actually pick WoW because there'd be so much to do.
I didn't even think about that.
Food.
Really?
I definitely want to eat.
about it.
If I was still alive, I would need to eat. There'd be bars. There'd be chicks. I think you could have sex in WoW. There's lots of people.
I have a fun story about my first 30 minutes
you could
of WoW.
swim. There's cool armor, lots of different classes and stuff. I guess you could chain all that. I would get sucked into WoW because it's basically like a real world as a fantasy world. So I would go into WoW.
Good call. Good call.
What if someone chose Second Life as well to get sucked into?
Some people probably would.
No, the first time I ever played WoW, and this was like in vanilla. This was like a month after vanilla started. Played the Night Elf area, and I was walking up into the little next town you go to, and there was a fucking orgy going on. Like a straight up, there was like 17 people running around stark naked, just dancing and humping each other. And I was just like, I literally logged off. I was like, I'm done with this. I was like, what the fuck just happened?
Why are you being such a prude?
I was thinking, would you pull a Jacob, huh?
I felt like I was being a Jacob. I was just like, what the fuck? Never been exposed to any MMO ever, and I was just like, this is weird. You know, they're not naked. They're in their weird skibbies, but I was like, this is fucking weird.
How do you know they were humping, to use your word?
They were doing this. They were just sliding back and forth, and they were humping each other, because the Night Elves, as they dance like Michael Jackson, was pelvic thrusts. Yeah, so they were straight humping, and I was just like, this is odd.
It'd be great to be a developer.
By the way, fuckheads, Eevees evolve without stones. Go fuck yourselves.
Don't drop that on the table, please.
Wiki answers? Evolve without stones.
And without further ado, let's drop into Random Game of the Week. Thank you for enjoying our new segment, our What Ifs. Tune in next week because we will have another What If, all brand new question to discuss, and it's going to be a doozy.
Scratch that. They don't in the original fucking ones.
Yeah.
This is in Ruby and all that, which
You said Pokemon World.
Pokemon World.
Did you specify blue or red?
No,
Did you specify blue or red?
I am going off of blue and red, which I played, not Ruby, Sapphire, and all that other shit.
No, you said Pokemon World. I'm going to have to call a judge and say,
I don't care.
Judge?
To my furthest knowledge, they don't evolve. Not on their own.
To your knowledge.
And mine wouldn't be happy. Wouldn't be happy. I'd make it fucking miserable.
There's a lot of knowledge in this world that I don't know about. That's still true stuff.
Hold on, Judge, that you are impartial to both sides.
I am, because I've never played a Pokemon game. I've never played a Pokemon game.
He's not played them. And I'm just going to refer back to the episode of Pokemon, which was during the Red and Blue time. There was a boy that had an Eevee. He had 3 brothers that chose a stone for his Eevees. He didn't want to do that. He wanted his Eevee to evolve on its own. And it did. Suck it.
What did it evolve into?
Vaporeon, the fucking green or the water one. So suck it. Look up the episode.
I don't believe that. I'm going to look up that episode because I don't believe that.
The judge.
Gotta go with him. All right, Jacob, tell us about your random game of the week. Binding of Isaac.
Yeah, why do you guys keep weirding out every time I say the title?
I thought it was a cool title.
I didn't like it.
Really,
sounds like gay stuff.
It's basically you move around with WASD.
Where'd you get this game?
On Humble Bundle.
Okay.
You move around WASD. and I think you shoot with the arrows.
Did you play this game?
I played it for about an hour.
Okay. You were getting Guild Ward out?
A week ago. Oh, my buddy wouldn't stop irritating me about playing it. But basically, you go into a room, kind of like Zelda, and you just shoot. You get different powers. At first, you just get your tears, and you shoot them. Like, I guess his mom...
Tears?
Yeah, I guess his mom locks him in the basement, so that's where you are. You're going through your basement, fighting different demons and stuff.
2D side-scroller, top view...
Top down.
Top down, like Zelda.
All drawn, I believe. Has a very cool art style. But you have a little map at the top that shows you all the rooms, and you can find keys, and you can find power-ups, and there's a boss you gotta fight. Then you go on to the next area. It's all randomly generated, so every time you play it, it's completely different bosses and where they're at, and it's a fun game.
Why'd you only play it an hour?
Because I was playing Guild Wars. I just wanted him to stop irritating me about playing Binding of Isaac.
And?
It's pretty cool.
You'll go back and play it?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and play it.
How long do you think it is? Like, is it going forever? Does it have an ending story?
I was asking him, I don't know. I think it would get kind of aggravating after a while. He's like, oh, I beat it in one sitting. And for him, it's like, how long is one sitting? Oh, I don't remember.
4 hours. I mean, a sitting for me is like 2 or 3 hours. Sitting for Justin is like 12. That mofo can sit down and play some games.
I'd imagine it's like 10 levels longer or something.
The face.
Yeah.
Once the face happens, it's game over.
I would recommend trying.
The face is game over. That's the name of the episode. Thank you, Justin.
And you also get 2 little, I think it's like Q and E, 2 little power-ups. Like you can, I had a pill I was walking around with, and I took the pill, and it was like a random pill, and I think it poisoned me. But you can get different upgrade. They do different things to you.
So your main weapon is your tears that you cry out?
And I guess one of the main bosses is your mom.
Is there a lot of rape in it? Like, what?
So do you go? Do you have to look for your life partners on JDate?
I use JDate.
Match.com.
I'm an adult virgin.
What was it? I read somewhere that if you hit 40 and you're still a virgin, you should get superpowers.
You should.
No, I agree with that completely.
If you hit 40 years old and you've never even touched yourself, you are definitely you deserve superpowers.
Well, hold on. If at like 9 years old, back to the what if someone's like, you hit 40, you get superhuman powers if you don't touch your penis. Nothing can touch your penis.
I would not have superpowers. It would not happen. I'd be like, no, fuck that. I enjoy that far too much. I enjoy the company of women.
Sicko.
Whatever, Justin.
You
were
had kids
watching
at
me.
like 12.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I had kids at 19, thank you.
Your son is like 15 years old.
That's true. Whatever. It's none of your goddamn business, punk.
He gets confused if his mother's his sister. What? Because your kid's 15, Rebecca's like 20.
What was it? One of the youngest recorded cases of getting pregnant was like at 5 years old. Yeah, that's awkward.
No, the silence will make it funny. So Binding of Isaac has hopefully no rape in it. You play as Isaac, and you've been bound by your mother?
I don't know where the
doing to
binding
you?
comes from. But I guess she hates you and she throws you in the basement, and that's when the game starts.
Is this made off the Child Called It book or something?
I don't know.
Jesus, you're a sick person.
You are a sick
under the
person playing this
stairs.
game.
Played it for like an hour.
Who's your friend that made you play this?
I won't say his name.
Defriend him.
Can't.
Yes, you can.
Friends with him way too long. A lot of people play it. It's a very popular game.
It wouldn't be on the random game of the week if a lot of people played it.
I know. A lot of people play Intrusion and some of the other games I've mentioned.
How many is
A lot of people play Sega Bass Fishing.
I have it on. Did you see that?
No.
Sega Bass Fishing. I count a 17-pound trout. Oh, where'd you put it? What's this shit? Golden Axe 2.
Yeah,
A
Golden
really
Axe.
good game.
We're Sega Bass Fishing.
Yeah.
Put it back on the wall.
Why?
Because Sega Bass Fishing sucks. I actually broke it too. I actually kicked it out there. That's what I did.
Super Black Bass on Super Nintendo, son. Can't go wrong.
I played Sega Bass.
Ever.
I played Sega Bass Fishing. That was the game I tested when I got the Sega came in. I played it for like an hour.
Oh, snap. I should have talked about Torchlight.
Torchlight.
You like Torchlight?
I love Torchlight.
Torchlight
I haven't
2?
played Torchlight 2 yet, though.
Oh.
What system's
you
that
don't
on?
even know.
It's a PC still.
Oh, it's
I
PC.
played Torchlight 1 on Xbox 360.
See, I played
on
that.
Marketplace.
Oh, how much time do we got? I can talk about it real quick.
You can talk about it.
Torchlight 2 is basically Torchlight 1.
With multiplayer.
Yeah, but I'm playing an Ember Mage, and you don't have very many abilities, but you level them up quickly, and the way I'm playing my guy is all AoE, so my one ability, I just summon 4 fire tornadoes, and they go out. I can drop a giant ball of lightning, and it just attacks everything around it. I can just drop hail on people.
I have a question for you. So you're a big wrestling fan, and you like all the physical fighting and combat and big sweaty giant men and little thongs running into each other and hitting one another. Yet in all the video games, you always play ranged or AoE stuff that's always far away. Why don't you like the barbarian that goes up there with a giant club and smashes their heads in?
You can watch men wrestle with other men in spandex, but you can't have a game where you pick a condom out of a toilet and you get mad about that.
You pick up a condom out of a toilet that's full of shit.
But man on man is what gets you going.
It's not like the guys are humping each other; they're punching each other.
You ever seen
Sorry.
a German suplex?
Sorry,
Yeah.
Kimberly.
There's dick to butt throw.
Yeah, and then they drop on their neck.
I've seen some rough gay sex before. So
Does Kimberly...
Really?
You want some oil? You want some oil, dude?
You watch rough gay sex?
I've seen. You
I've
can
hit it
talk
on
all
the
shit you
computer
want.
before. I've put giant pieces on the computer before.
It's not as bad as when Justin started talking.
Brandon did it too.
I imagined sex with him, so we made him.
You just remember that?
Talk all the shit you want. I'm not
No,
gonna
you did it
me.
to Brandon's computer. That was funny.
Oh yeah, I put the two dudes sucking
dudes.
dick,
Yeah. And he couldn't change
and
it.
I changed his password. And every time he tried it, was just gay sex. It was funny.
It was
You
funny.
never touch it.
Are you leaving?
You leaving? You done? You going
I'm
home?
taking my electronic. I don't want nobody touching it.
I can put it on the internet for you. Let me see it.
Actually, you can't change the backgrounds on this thing.
All right, so tell me, why do you never like the melee scene combat? You always do the...
I don't know. I like mages and stuff more.
He likes being a wizard.
Expelliarmus!
I don't know. I never really play tanks or anything. I always play the mage or the healer. Or,
I like getting the heal. I like doing the healer stuff.
that's what I like. Going back to Guild Wars, I can play my guardian, and he is a melee class. Like every third strike puts an AOE heal.
I love
Pretty
playing
cool.
tanks in games just because I hate relying on somebody else to do it. I'm like, you probably fucking suck.
I-
You don't know what you're doing. So I'm just
I
gonna
understand
get out
that.
of the way.
Yeah.
I'll make sure they all just keep attacking me.
When did you play a tank? You played a tank in Final Fantasy, didn't you?
I played a tank in Final Fantasy and I played a tank in WoW.
I thought you played a hunter in WoW.
No, my hunter was. I had spec originally though the tank set for hunter because remember it was my pet was more of my tank and I ran off.
Well,
But
the
then I
tank
had
spec
my
then wasn't
war.
really that good.
Torchlight. The reason it reminded me of that was because there's fishing in Torchlight.
There's
Fishing in
in
Fable,
WoW.
too.
There's fishing in WoW.
Oh, okay. Well,
There's
Fishing
fishing-
in Final Fantasy.
There's fishing in Sega Bass Fishing.
There's
the
fishing
cool
in
thing
Super
about
Black
Torchlight,
Bass.
cool thing about Torchlight 2 on PC is the mod community is incredible. The one mod that we mainly use is called Synergies, and it's a whole bunch of mods in one, and it adds a class. There's a bunch of classes you can add to it. We also do a Synergies loot, which gives you better loot. But yeah, it adds a Necromancer class, and you can have an army of
Cheats.
undead.
You like
No,
to cheat.
It's not cheats. It's just adding classes and making the game better. It's fixes
So it's
and stuff
altering
like
the
that.
game to your benefit. Wouldn't that be cheating?
Not really to our benefit.
You said it gives you better loot. Isn't that...
Yeah, it gives us better loot. Who doesn't want better loot?
So you're cheating to get better loot.
Yeah,
You
sure.
could just play it over and over and work for it.
You could. If you know your drop counts.
No, do they allow this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
guess it's
a
not
few of
cheating
the
if they
mods are
allow it.
made by the guys who made Torchlight.
Why would
The
they just
PC
patch that
version?
in?
I don't know.
That's weird.
I just hope they hurry up and put it on
Goddamn
360.
hackers.
Yeah, I don't think they can.
There's already talk of they were talking about it being ported over to the 360
That would be
because
good.
Torchlight 1 did really well on the 360.
You don't have a 360 anymore.
No, but I can go snatch one from his house. He has one that only needs disk drive doesn't work. It's all hard drive. It's download. All the stuff
send
I
you
care
one.
about for my Xbox is all downloaded on my Xbox, my hard drive, like my Minecraft and my Elder Scrolls. Game wise, I can play anything I want though. That's out mainly on my PS3. I don't need it for that. I do want to get State of Emergency because I heard it's really awesome.
State of Decay.
Or State of Decay, yeah, that's it. State of
Oh,
Emergency.
okay.
That was a shitty PS2 game.
Yeah, I was like, that was really a shitty
Scratch
game.
I kind of like State of Emergency.
Of course you did.
Kind of.
The only thing I liked about it was I liked the hooligan factor of it, like that you were
Yeah.
like building up a fucking like riot squad.
Yeah,
but
the
it's
riots
just-
were crazy.
I just couldn't get that into it. But yes, I want to play State of Decay. I'm actually debating on buying a network card just to fucking play it.
It does look cool.
For
Is
really
that
good
the-
reviews on it.
Is that the
Zombie
one
one.
that me and you were looking up the reviews on that one day?
Zombie Grand Theft Auto, more or less, from what I
Yeah.
heard.
But it's single player only. That's the thing that's kind of disappointing.
Well, they're going to do a patch. I think
Supposedly,
they're trying to
rumor mill,
patch it.
they're talking about patching it. The guys that made it claimed, or supposedly there was an internet thing saying that they claimed that if it sold a set amount of numbers and like after launch, they would do a multiplayer patch. I don't know how true that is, but it'd be nice because everyone I know that's played State of Decay, and no one says it's bad.
I think it's the number 2 selling game. There's
Yeah.
Shadow Complex is like number 3. It's number 2, and I think Minecraft is number 1.
Because literally, I am dead serious. Everyone who has come in my store that's talked about that game, no one says it's bad. No one's like, it was horrible, it glitched this, that. Everybody's like, it plays amazing.
So random. Justin and I were looking the other day because we were all excited to play Turtles. We were going to download it and play it. Did it get moved, the time, or are we just dumb?
I don't know. I could have swore it should be coming out. My boss had it on pre-order. He actually had pre-ordered the code for it. So, because he was like so gung-ho
I didn't know we could pre-order. I'd have pre-ordered that.
Yeah, you pre-ordered DLC stuff too.
I didn't know.
Is
that.
it maybe under TMNT?
No, it's.
See, I can't remember.
It got pushed back like a month because I thought it came out on the 24th, but it's next month.
Yeah,
it's next August.
From what I understand,
or this coming
they might have pushed back a couple things. I've been waiting for Castle of Illusions. They remade that in high def and all that for PS3. I've been waiting to download it like for fucking 4 months now. Like every week I check the network to see if they added Castle of Illusions because I'm like, I must have that Disney game.
Did I tell you they pushed back Plants vs. Zombies 2? Did we discuss that?
No.
Yeah,
The shooter one?
No, not that one.
Oh.
The actual tower defense one, they pushed it back. It was supposed to be released July 18th, and they did a soft release in Australia, New Zealand, fuckers, because it's microtransactions, it's free to play, so they were testing their servers on that, and they said they're going to push it back to the end of the summer. Most people are anticipating it'll probably be the last weekend in August now that Plants vs. Zombies 2 will come out, and many people thinking that they're doing this because they may go away from free to play. There's been rumors that they'll actually charge for it and just give you everything for a set price, but many people saying there's no way that they're going to do that because the free to play option just makes way too much money.
Are you going to have to buy all the units?
No, they said they give you every plant in the game you get. The only thing you don't get are these new upgrades to the plants, which are called plant food. So you'll be playing and you'll have your normal pea shooter and you'll get plant food that you can feed to the pea shooter that makes it super powerful for a set amount of time. And those are the things that you have to use the premium currency
So it's
to buy.
cheating.
All I got to say, well,
No, it's in the game.
Microtransaction BS. All I have to say is if you like tower defense games and you got a PlayStation, Dungeon Defenders, or an Xbox, because Dungeon Defenders is on Xbox as well. It's possibly on PC as well too.
Sounds familiar.
It is amazing. I got it for free on PlayStation Plus. I actually was one of the games I played a couple earlier this week with a friend of mine, and it was a little the camera angle was a little because I was playing a 2-player split screen with somebody.
Is it kind of cutesy? Like
You get a wizard, a black mage, which kind of looks like Vivi from like Final Fantasy IX. You get the squire, which is like a knight, and is like his helmet is his face, like it's fucking
but
hysterical
they're
looking.
like that tall or something?
Yeah, they're
Like,
not.
small?
Yeah, they're like.
I think
They're I don't know. They're about average size avatars. Then you get a huntress and a monk, and you could literally, as the first level is, you start and you're trying to protect this Espeon crystal deal. While you're trying to fight off the crystal, each round you have like a timer. If you walk up to the crystal and just press activate the crystal, you cut your timer off, like you're ready for battle. So you can go, you can set up defenses. Each character has certain defenses that are special or unique to that character. My friend was playing as the wizard. I was playing as the squire because, like I said, I always go with the melee class. The squire, he puts down spiked barricades. You level him up a little bit more, he puts out these things called roundabouts, which are like, they look like a pirate steering wheel almost, like a ship's steering wheel, but big spikes on them. And anytime enemies will come out, they'll pop up higher and they expand and they smack the enemies. It's absurd damage. Like, the game's amazing tower defense. My buddy playing as the wizard got like all these weird AoE projectile-based defenses. Literally, man, I mean, it was so addicting that me and my buddy played it split screen for like almost 8 hours. Like, he came over to the house just to hang out for like 30 minutes, and then we sat there for 8 hours playing Dungeon Defenders. I was like, this game's amazing. Like, I couldn't believe how awesome it is.
How much?
I don't know because I got it for free on PlayStation Plus. I think it's like $15-20 though, probably. Maybe even less.
When did you download it?
Back in the day. Back some months ago.
Oh, okay. So you'd have to pay for it now.
Yeah, you'd have to pay for it now.
I thought of something, Justin, on our what ifs on the video game world. Do you get to respawn?
No.
Video game, man.
Well, in that sense, if it's a video game, the fucking Pokemon world is the best world to be because it's the video game world. What the fuck's the matter if a Pokemon fucking flies by and blows fire on
I
me?
just hate you right now, so fuck you. No. I make the rules. It's my what if.
No.
Yeah, what ifs? Do you get to respawn? Like, you...
Well, think about it. If it's you would die in a world, you would die there. Like, that's what I would.
But you
chalk
can
it up to.
respawn there.
If Captain N died in his world, would he die or would he respawn?
I don't know. I never played fucking Captain N or saw
There's
Captain
a
N.
cartoon.
What if you run into Call of Duty World? Would you get shot in the head and respawn?
Yeah, would you respawn?
Or does it turn into RL?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is it the Matrix, where you die in here, you die for real?
Yeah.
The mind can't live without the body?
Let's chalk it up to that.
Okay, and with that,
All right,
thank you for joining us for episode 11 of season 2. There'll be more what ifs brought to you by the bastards later. Say goodbye, guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.